Hey everyone, my name's Scott Schwieger. I'm the senior editor of Combined Cycle Journal, and today I'm joined by Matt Shustrick of Paragon Energy Solutions. So Matt, what's PeAks?
PeAks is an online database, so it's open to the public. It's a place you can go and plug in a part number or something specific you're looking for, and it'll search over 10 million different inventory records we see on a daily basis. You'll see these inventory records are comprised of station inventory, whether it's in the nuclear realm, fossil, T&D. We've got inventory here at Paragon. We've got some warehouses that house surplus inventory, and then we're also partnered with surplus warehouses itself, which we list on PeAks. Maybe it's something we've reverse engineered or repaired before. So all those solutions actually will show up whenever you look for your parts.
Do records from places like eBay or Google show up on the PeAks database?
Unfortunately, I'll just say the short answer is no, but that is part of our search when a request comes in. So there's a few different ways you can search PeAks for your parts and utilize our team. So the first is by going into our website, paragones.com. And so you pop in your part number, away you go. It'll bring up, all the different ways maybe that part's found or available. But if it's in kind of utility inventory or surplus inventory, it'll show up. It'll give you options on how to request a quote for that part that way. But let's say you maybe don't have the time to do that research or go onto the website or mess around, searching for half descriptions or partial part numbers or anything. The easiest way for you to kind of conduct your search and let our team kind of take it and run with it is just send an email to emergent@paragones.com. That's an email account that's monitored 24/7 by our team here at Paragon. So when the email comes in, it generates a ticket. You get an automatic acknowledgement, just kind of like an auto reply saying, hey, we got your request. It gets assigned then to one of our team members, and you'll get a response within 15 minutes during regular business hours. So really in the email itself, you'll just want to include, maybe where you're from, the manufacturer part number you're looking for, description of the part. That way our team can kind of go after it. And that's all you need to do.
So what happens if you're outside of regular business hours?
If it's outside of regular business hours and you can't wait till say the next day, or say it's on the weekend, middle of the night, you'll have in that automated response, there'll be a phone number on there to call. And like I said, if you call that number, it'll forward directly to the person that's on call. They're 100% full-time Paragon employees, so we don't outsource calls or our answering services or anything. When you call us, you're going to get a Paragon employee and somebody on that team that'll be able to go in, look at that request, and take off and run with it. We're trying to always minimize costs. And, rather than maybe always going to the OEM, we go look for overstock or surplus where, those parts in theory should be substantially less than going and sourcing, a brand new one from the OEM that they have to go build. And when there's one maybe sitting on a shelf somewhere that somebody wants to get rid of that we've got listed.
So you touched on cost a little bit, Matt. Is there any cost associated with using PeAks?
No, not at all. There's no cost at all. I mean, obviously you're just going to be sourcing the part through us, but yeah, there's no login required for the database. So you just log in and get the part. All of the parts that we show listing, we have agreements with all of those companies already to purchase those parts. So really, we're just we're buying it and selling it to you. But no cost at all to use it. We built PeAks and this whole database to make parts visible, especially in those emergent situations, to make sure that there's visibility of parts that are out there, because eventually everybody's going to be in an emergent situation and need to find parts. So the more we can list, the more help it is to everybody.
Can third-party parts suppliers or can they also list on PeAks?
Yeah, absolutely. It's wide open for suppliers to list any of their inventory or catalog items on our PeAks database. Absolutely.
Okay. So like right now, we're in the middle of what might be one of the busiest outage seasons in the history of our industry, especially when it comes to gas turbines and combined cycles. So can you tell us a little bit about some of the requests you've been having during this outage season particularly from combined cycle units?
We get a lot of valve requests, and even electrical components are definitely our two biggest things that we see on a day-to-day basis for sure. We just had a extremely large transformer come over last weekend that we're working on. It's like 80,000 pounds, something just ridiculously large. But site was in urgent need for it. They found one it wasn't the exact one they had, but they found one that'll work through PeAks. And, we're making that happen. You send the request in, you tell us when you need it, we'll find the part, we'll advise you the pricing, and then we'll take care of all the logistics on the back end as well to make sure you get that part when you need it.
So if a part's sitting on the shelf, at a site, you guys are handling that pickup and delivery to the new rightful owner?
That's correct. Yeah, we'll take it. We'll advise them, obviously, a need date or ship date, whenever it is. Maybe it's something that's needed next week. We'll get them to make sure that they set up at least shipment within the 1 day of us sending them the purchase order. But we'll advise them all the shipping instructions and whatnot to get it right to your site. On the flip side, maybe it's something that needs a courier and needs a courier in. We work with multiple courier companies, and we set up all of that, pickup, drop off, all of the above.
If somebody types in a part number on PeAks and multiple hits come up for the part that they're looking for, how does Paragon manage which site they're going to go to source the part?
We always reach out if there's surplus or overstock listed. Those are the utilities we go, or utilities or companies, whomever, that we go to first. These people want to sell it because it's surplus or overstock, whatever you want to call it. They're looking to offload that inventory. We always try and go to whoever is going to release that part the easiest and most affordably, versus trying to snag it from somebody that's going to have to go out and rebuy it.
I'd just like to thank Matt for joining us today to tell us about Paragon Energy Solutions. And we hope that you use this resource because we think it'll be really valuable for the gas turbine and combined cycle industry.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody, for your time. If you need anything at all, my contact information will be circulated. And always, if you need anything, you can always email emergent@paragones.com.